Hello, everyone. Thank you all so very much for joining us yet again. This time we're going to be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac Reunion Part 2.
Yes,
Michelle.
yes. Hello. Yes, this is part two of the three-part reunion. So next week we have part three with apparently an extended version with Robin. So I'm looking forward to that. But yep, this is part two of the reunion where they discuss more and more of the drama of this past season.
All right,
It
let's watch.
started where go ahead.
And I wanted to say, let's watch this promo. It's been a minute since we've used the promo.
That is true. Let's see it.
All right.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Say what, like you don't know what I'm talking about.
All right. So tell us about this reunion.
Yes, you already talked that stuff. So if I look like I'm in a tunnel, it's because I'm in a car. So yeah, I'll just keep it at that. I'm in a car, but we can still talk that stuff in the car. So this episode started where the last one ended with the dwindling uterus comment, and so they were talking about that, and the whole situation use that, but she spent her time talking about Chris and all of those allegations. And so she was saying, Giselle was saying, like, she wanted Chris to apologize for what he did to her. And Candace just wanted to know, what did he do? And she was just like, he made me feel uncomfortable. And so they kind of discussed that. And Andy brought up a good question. So she was like, were you uncomfortable or did he make you feel uncomfortable? Because there's a difference, Somebody can make you feel uncomfortable or you could just feel uncomfortable. And it sounds like she just felt uncomfortable. Like, I think it's pretty clear he didn't do anything to specifically make her feel uncomfortable. But the whole thing with Candace was that she waited 6 months. Like, I guess this happened, of course, at the last reunion. And she had seen her a few times where she could have brought it up. But she waited. It made her husband seem like a predator on camera to millions of people when that's not who he is. So, and of course, Mia was trying to chime in, and she was just like, "Shut up, Mia." It was a mess.
No,
What do you think about that? Like, they're different points.
Shut up.
Yeah. I don't even think she looked at her. She just gave her the hand and was like, "Shut up." And I was like, "Yes, shut up, Mia," because what did she say? Something about can't you just admit that your husband, or something like she made your husband made her feel uncomfortable or something, or treated inappropriately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's wrong with admitting that your friend felt she was being treated inappropriately by your husband? Which actually Giselle wasn't even saying that.
Right. Giselle corrected
the talk at that point. So it was yes. So it was something Mia just wanted to chime in and just say something to defend her friend, who's not really her friend, by the way, but they ended up letting that one go because they said they could just let Chris out. And so we handling it next week. But they went on to him flirting with Deborah, aka the Cookie Monster, Sesame Street, whatever her name is. And so of course they showed the clip.
It's always gonna be Sesame Street.
Did she say she holds the keys or something? She said last week she holds the keys. But so they showed the clip. Hey, oh, you look beautiful today. I'm glad I'm even dim. I did normal.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. Welcome. We're just getting started, and we are on Chris and Deborah comments the comments that she made about him flirting with her and all this kind of stuff. And so Ashley said that typically Deborah is an honest person, but clearly, oh, she said, and I did notice that the lips did not match what they were saying, but I don't think Chris did any time. You can hear in his voice that he wasn't flirting with y'all, but at all. He wasn't flirting with her, but the camera said all that, so okay. He has Candace at home and there's Sesame Street.
Honestly, I just felt like Deborah was trying to get on. And unfortunately, I can understand the sense to want to get some of that money people get from being reality stars, and that's just being honest. But like to lie, to try to get on, I think that's lame. That man won't play.
Because I'm sure there's enough truth out there where you can start some drama. She could have even started some drama with her so-called friend Ashley, because there's plenty of stuff she can discuss there. But I mean, she wanted to go with I think that was the agreed. Well, no, that was her key to the show, and it did not work out for Jacqueline. So you gotta stay true to who true to you, I guess, at this point. But she said Deborah's normally an honest person, so she was surprised. Yeah. And then they brought up the Happy Eddie comments, and even Lord, what's the host? He thought that was a stretch himself. And Whitney brought a good point, because the men are communicating as normal, healthy people communicate, but now they have a little hesitance because we can't say hi to nobody, or we're gonna be accused of all this kind of crazy stuff.
And that gotta stop. That has to stop. I think that so many people might really be accustomed to dysfunction that they see it in others when it's not there.
Right. When it's just healthy communication.
Like if somebody said I was smiling and laughing in somebody's face, I'd bust out laughing and smiling and tell them I do that to everybody. You can't miss.
That's what I do.
Well, that's what I do. Like I'm always joking and laughing, so you can't assume that because I'm joking and laughing with somebody that I like them and I want them.
Right. That is so true.
And so you gotta be a sullen version, so no one thinks you want them. No, I'm gonna be myself, and you can misread it as you want. My man, and in his case, his woman.
See, this is the thing. Sesame Street doesn't have that many men throwing themselves at her. I mean, why would they? And so, if someone is just being nice, she's gonna take that, the wrong way. So clearly, she's used to being treated like trash.
Well, I don't know if you ever met people that think everybody's flirting with them or everybody is like trying to holler. Yeah, and I think she may be one of those.
Yeah, but normally they have something. There's something attractive about them.
You can see somebody trying to holler. Yeah, this is not the case. In all the scenes, like she had a different look, but she still had the similar. I got the Cookie Monster vibe. I was with Candace on that. It was accurate.
You know what I really want? Like besides everything, I want her to do something with her eyebrows. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't got no eyebrows, but I want her to. I want her to shave her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that might help.
Just because they
something.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
Just because they thick don't mean they cute.
True that. Yeah. They could take a little taming. And it looks like she did, but I think, and I don't know, hopefully she didn't get a like that was like
every now and then I think you're hitting a bad area. Every now and then.
Did I go out? Okay. Yeah, I saw circles. Okay, so they went from there to the IG live video that Robin played, and so they talked about that because I never saw the full video, but of course Twitter did, and they were just like, well, if she had actually watched the full video, she would have seen that Candace actually had positive things to say about her business in that same video. So she probably wasn't talking about Robin, but Robin played it in front of everybody, and assuming because she mentioned peddling business that she was talking about her because she was one of the only few that still had businesses to peddle. And she kind of threw her friend under the bus because I didn't realize that Candace didn't
Giselle.
either. Yeah, Giselle's business wasn't being peddled anymore. But
She was
um,
like she was so ready to go. I feel like she was so ready to go hard behind Giselle that she thought she was next. Because you know how
mhm,
because like if nothing else, I can respect Giselle because she's shown nothing but bestie vibes towards Robin, straight up, and vice versa. Like I respect their friendship if I don't respect nothing else. If we're gonna be 100% honest, if you were friends with somebody before you got on TV and you was like, baby, I never aired your business out before, I ain't gonna do it now. Respect. But I just feel like she was so ready to have Giselle's back that she just assumed she was next. So what she heard, the little part she heard that was sent to her, she was ready to put on blast. Not even realizing she already congratulated you and big up you to let you know that whatever she says next isn't about you.
Yeah, it's always good to get the full story. Like
Mhm,
people are always gonna send you stuff and
mhm.
or tell you things that are designed to make someone look bad in your eyes.
mhm.
And I think Robin learned that the hard way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
And the
she
best part,
out and it was like, girl, now I really want to see what you like.
yeah.
I
And I
wasn't.
didn't realize they were. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
You go.
Oh, I was just saying, I didn't realize that they were, like I assume most people like film together when it's time, like they don't really hang out that much outside the show. But it sounded like her and Robert were actually really friends,
That's why
outside the show. So
she
she,
came to board defense.
yeah,
That's why
yeah,
she came to Kiki's defense. Like, hey, I know Giselle about to run with a narrative. I ain't with it.
hmm
Take me. I ain't say none of that. I told her don't say it. She's going with it anyway. I'm not getting with it. I told her I'm not getting with it and talking to you. But that's what
But
I
the
felt
best
like.
part was, sorry, I keep going over you because I don't know if I'm timing out or not. Go ahead, girl.
Nothing. Go ahead.
No, the best part was, of course, because Candace, not Candace, Robin didn't air all of her laundry during the show. The producers are super shady. So of course she keeps saying stuff to like put her own stuff
That
on the bus.
makes us feel so bad.
Right. Yeah. So she was just like, why are you upset because we're doing things on camera? Everything we do should be done on camera. Should
Well,
Not
she
just
did say this. She did say this. As it comes up, we put it on camera.
and I'm sure it came up while they were not on camera, but it could have came up, but
Well,
they
I
didn't
was
even let
about
it
to
come up.
say,
But
but not
I was
for
about to
you,
say they would
honey.
have put it on camera.
Not for you.
okay.
I'm
Oh my
sorry. What'd you
gosh.
say,
And I
Al?
didn't know.
I said not for Robin. She had a significant amount of her life. And I don't blame her for that. If you want to be a reality television star, you don't have that luxury, sweetheart. You
No,
don't.
and I mean, to me, like if she did have juicy enough storylines to hide some personal stuff, but her whole storyline is about her marriage, and now you're hiding stuff about it. Like to me, it'll be different if your storyline is about your business. So we don't need to know about your marriage because you got something that we're looking at. But if
Already
your
on
whole
repertoire.
storyline for all these years, yeah. So, but yeah. And I didn't realize that Candace thought Robin was the most loyal because she mentioned that as well. And Wendy was like, "This is who's the most loyal to you." Like after she blasted her, I didn't realize that, but
They
that
show
was
that.
interesting.
They show that.
No, no. Oh, they did. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I just forgot that part, but that was, yeah.
They went back and showed that she said it.
Hmm.
But
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm not faulting Candace for that because she's been rocking it with Robin longer than Wendy. Wendy, you just got here. And I
Yeah.
hate to say it, but in relationships with anyone, seniority
Matters.
like trumps it. That's why your family is a totally different lane than your friends. Your friends is like, come on, now. This is my family. Like, you can't tell me or get yourself involved in nothing that's going on with me and my family. And then you get into relationships where I wouldn't want to be arguing with my friend over something I heard their friend that they've been in a relationship longer with. Oh, it doesn't matter about how long it does. Because you're talking about 10, 15 years of somebody, or 5 or 2 years of somebody believing other person would say that about you. And just because you walk in, I'm supposed to believe that they said it. Off of what? I've never heard they said anything like that before in all these years. Why would I automatically believe you? So the age part of a relationship isn't just based on like loyalty. It's like timeline of somebody's behavior. They've never shown me that part of their personality. Why am I supposed to automatically think that they down bad because you said so? So I get it. I get why Candace would be like, yeah, Robin's most loyal. Never done anything to me. But, and I also understand Wendy being a newbie and saying, told you. But some people are more perceptive.
Mm-hmm. So what happened next, Alicia? Michelle? I don't know why I'm saying Alicia.
I know because it's written on the screen. But they go to a break, and Robin changes her tampon, and they all come back. I think the husbands are coming in and whatever, but they're all back, and they start. I know.
Can somebody tell me why they showed that? Like that was uncalled for. Like as if to say that Robin was afraid.
Uncalled for.
Robin is gonna leave the stage because she's afraid. Like no.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they did. I think they feel a certain way about Robin after all the stuff came out. So they did some special editing to try to do whatever they could to make her look a certain way or whatever. And I mean, it's normal, but I mean, it don't make you look bad. It's normal, but it's just like, y'all didn't have to show that for real. Y'all didn't. But anyway, when they come back, they start talking about Giselle and Karen and that whole did Karen steal the whole live idea from them, or if she didn't, and she claimed her inspiration was Carol Burnett and all that kind of stuff. I kind of think she stole the idea from them because, she claimed that during that conversation. She talked about her live too. They just didn't air that part, but she clearly, I mean, you can't steal somebody's idea and do it better or have more connections, but she definitely stole it.
Or you know what? Okay, so look, this is what I'm willing to believe with Karen. They said it, she heard it, she dismissed it, and later, because she heard it, it kind of ruminated in her head, and she was like, "Oh, that sounds like a good idea." You know what I'm saying? And not realizing that it's. But at the same time, she also has a track record of doing this. I'm sorry.
She knew it was a good idea from the beginning. She just stole it. Come on, Jermaine.
I said I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. I am trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. My mind says she stole it, but I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt.
The grind down. And I don't watch the other show, so I didn't know there was another show. He mentioned somebody else that did a live too, from another, I guess, franchise.
Variety show. It actually really was that Karen put her name on. To me, the way I received it was there is a variety show, a traveling variety show, and she's probably putting her name on it and traveling with it as well, being the headline because she's Karen, but I don't think it's really her show.
Because, I mean, remember during the season, she didn't really know what was going on.
At all.
Because it's not her situation.
Yeah.
But I love how Karen continues to be relevant. Like, you can play if you want to, but if you're sitting in Karen's face, telling her your ideas, you're just asking her to steal. She's done it time and time again.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm giving you Karen faces.
Oh my God. And they caught everyone and showed it during this reunion. I'm like, oh, don't do that with Karen. But anyway, oh my God.
I feel like I make funny faces too. I'm not gonna lie.
No. You don't make funny faces. What you do is like, that sounds like something I want to talk about. That's the most that you'll do. You'll do this, and that's it. You don't
I
make
do.
funny
I
faces.
look at the ceiling and go somewhere for a minute and then come back. And I'll be like, "What are you thinking about? Nothing." They're like, "I know you're thinking about something." No. That's my phone. I'll be like,
Oh God.
You're gonna say no. Don't let me be in a position where I really can't say. People will be pissed off. I always went up there. Like, what are you thinking about? Nothing. Yes, you are. Miss. Yes, you are. I can't say. I'm in a room full of
Oh
people.
my gosh.
I can't say anything.
Yeah, I will say, like, I mean, at least in this environment, I have not seen any Karen-esque faces from you, so that's a good thing.
I just see how she does her mouth, and I know, like, I do some stuff with my mouth. So when I see her do it, I be trying to do it.
Wait a minute. Do you remember this?
Uh-uh.
You remember, madam?
Oh my gosh. They wrong for that. Oh my gosh. Oh, they so wrong. It's slightly accurate, but they're so wrong for that.
It's probably spot on. But you didn't know.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, in the next I guess part, they start talking about Giselle and her hysterectomy, and she was saying that out of everything she's done, out of all the seasons, she's had the most feedback from women on this topic, and she was saying how traumatic her experience was. And she kind of talked about that, and they would kind of talk about how she doesn't talk about her personal stuff when her expectations that others do. Now, I will say that this.
Wait a minute.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that in that moment, Candace was like, that was the most real that you've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I mean, honestly, yeah. And to me, it would have been great. Like, I have to, like, make all that stuff or try to overproduce the season. That is a huge story since, like, women reacted to that. She really could have had that as her main storyline this season instead of trying to get everybody, throw everybody's husbands under the bus or date a different man or something like that. Like, that's real. Just do that. Like, they did, like, do it a little bit, but it wasn't, I don't know.
I'm
oh, yeah, not the actual surgery. Not the actual. They could have given more info, not the actual traumatic surgery part, but even leading up to it or talking about it or stuff, like the visit to the hospital or, I don't know, just like, I remember her talking to Robin or something after. I don't even know if she was straight coming home from the doctor or they just made it seem that way, but in any case, that would have been good for her for that season. But it was nice to see her be vulnerable, and I'm glad that he didn't allow her, because she was like, let's talk about this later. He was like, no, we'll talk about it now, because she rarely gets that personal, when she has to be emotional. So
I was about to say, she rarely gets that emotional.
She had a strong on her in that situation. Like, no.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was last season or the season before where they were like going in on her, and the entire time she just sat there like a first lady does. She just sat.
Yeah. I think it was with that Monique season is where I remember her like sitting here.
Feel how you want to feel. Feel how you want to feel. And hey, roar. I feel you. Situation. I'm gonna do the same thing. But you signed up for this, baby.
Yeah.
I feel this, but no, you signed up for this, baby. And like I feel like we haven't touched on is how hard Candace went on her uterus. Are we gonna even?
Oh,
that was a bit much.
You really? Ooh! Every time she said, I was like.
But at the same time, what she's really communicating is, I don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
That's what she's communicating.
All you had going on with your raggedy ass.
But the question that I have to ask is, if you see whatever happening, right? whatever, a fight, two people fighting.
Mhm.
One of them you don't like.
Mhm.
You don't fuck with them.
Mhm.
How would you respond?
What you mean? Because a
So
physical fight or a verbal fight?
a verbal a verbal fight, not a physical fight, a verbal
I'm
fight.
gonna mind my business.
I mean, I think I mean, to me, it's normal, like to ride for your friend. Like, if you don't like one person or whatever, it's normal to ride for it. But
I don't
don't try
automatically
to
think
make it.
that.
Michelle?
Oh, sorry. I thought I was frozen. It's normal to ride for your friend, but I think with them, it's more like um they try to make it seem like they not riding for their friend in the point. Like they try to make it seem like they not. But she eventually said, at least this, and when they talked about the whole fight with Wendy and Mia, she eventually said, basically, I don't like her, so that's why I rode with, that's why I flip flopped and I rode with Mia because I don't like her. But and to me, it's normal. Like I didn't have a problem with them riding for the person. I mean, it was clear why they were going with Mia because they didn't like Wendy. But don't act like you really are, riding for both of them. But you felt like this person was actually wrong and that one was right. That's what I didn't like about it.
Right.
But yeah,
But the way you handled your business the season before, or was it
Remind
the
me.
season before? The way she
Remind me.
handled her business with Monique, and then being
hmm
casual about the next incident, you can't do all that. You had a bodyguard coming with you, Giselle.
she
Girl,
sure did.
what is you scared of? What is you scared of?
Yes.
Snatch you up to because you deserve it?
No, I think she was flexing. I think at that moment what she was really trying to do was she was trying to get Monique off the show.
hmm
I'm afraid.
Right.
Honestly, I don't think that she was afraid. I don't
No,
think she was
no,
afraid.
but
I
she's
think she was
doing
just
all
flexing.
that. That is a signal that you're afraid for your safety.
I don't think she was though.
I don't
I
care
don't
what
think she
if
was,
she really
but
was or
I
not.
think
That's a signal that you are and that they
Right,
need to take care of her.
right.
So
And
keep
that's what
going.
and that's what I meant when I said she was flexing.
Yeah. So
yeah,
for you
yeah.
to do all that and this other girl to get violent, it's so easy for you to not to be afraid
hmm
when someone gets violent. Like that's ridiculous.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. Every time I go back home, I see a fight, and it's just we drinking. What you think gonna happen? Sooner or later,
Oh my
somebody gonna say
gosh.
something stupid, and somebody gonna start
He
fighting.
wasn't scared by any means in real life. I think it was whack though. And that's why they had to have that little segment about colorism because you don't know how that shit look.
hmm
You don't even subconsciously realize how that made you look. And I know that you weren't driven by colorism. I don't believe that she was. I don't. But I do understand how they had to have that little weak ass segment.
Because it was not.
Yeah. Now I do appreciate that.
They
That it
tried.
feels like they called everybody. Well, yeah, they tried. They called because it was a huge thing on Twitter this season, especially with the whole Mia thing against Wendy, and so that was huge on Twitter. So I think they had to address it, and
Monique.
they.
What'd you say, Erica?
And the way they all clicked up against Monique.
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
Oh
I'ma
yeah,
just
yeah.
But this is the
And
thing.
so
It's two. Okay, somebody help me out. So it was two dark girls fighting.
when
How was it? And that was probably the germination of the whole colorism idea. I get it.
when was the two dark girls fighting?
Monique and Candace, two dark girls.
Okay.
It was probably the germination of that because I do remember people talking about it, back then, like at the height of the pandemic. But so I'm still trying to understand how and why that got into colorism.
Because you can find fault in the brown girl like Candace or Monique reacting aggressively with their words or being physically aggressive, but when a light skinned girl does it, we don't seem to pin the same aggression on them. Now I feel like
So
this
it wasn't about the fight itself. It was about how in general.
How they completely didn't even address that Mia did it.
Okay.
That's what it was. It was like,
Oh,
really?
I'm talking about 2 seasons ago.
No, I don't think that I don't think they brought up colorism back then, did they?
I think that was like the first
I
time that I
think
started hearing about it.
I never heard about colorism with their situation. I remember hearing about colorism in Basketball Wives when that was still going on. And that's
I
why
remember that.
colorism was brought up. I think like you couldn't effectively apply it. Now, what you could apply in that situation was classism. Now, classism as in how a hood chick is gonna react versus how a bougie chick is gonna react in a situation. Now, you keep getting in my face with your bougie self. I might snatch you across the table with my ghetto behind. But you gonna call me ghetto if I react that way, but you won't if I threw a drink in your face or toss something on you. But listen. You can't do that with no ghetto person. Cause you can't put your finger in a ghetto person's face. You can't walk towards a ghetto person. You can't tie your hair back. You can't stand up too quick.
It
You
is
can't
triggering.
elevate your voice too powerfully, or else everybody gonna be like, "Oh, what's up? We stuck. What is we talking about? Come on." You know what I'm saying? Most people is with it, when you from the hood. And I just think that we keep using the colorism label because we're in our community, we always say colorism, because like
But it
in the
has layers. What you're saying is it has layers to it.
Yes, in the past, a lot of people of lighter skin were the ones who were the recipients of a lot of the wealth, especially in the South. But when you go other places, there may have been just as many brown skinned people with the same privileges. And it's honestly a classism problem within our own community, not a colorism problem. Because now we're starting to turn our nose on people who like to scrap off of disrespect when another type of person will throw a drink in your face. First of all, hands down, and I can say this anywhere, you throw a drink in my face, I'm gonna fight you. You hit me. You put your fat, you might as well smack the shit out of me. I wish
I'm
you
sorry.
would.
I'm sorry. Like in that moment, I got a visual of somebody throwing something in front
You
of
hit me.
Michelle,
So
and,
when I wrap
and
your ponytail in my hand, I swing you your whole nine fighting behind in a
what,
circle. It's
what
not
I
fair for you to call me the aggressor because I whipped your ass.
what I envision Michelle doing is saying, "Now hold up, wait a minute now."
Let's talk about it.
oh my God.
Like, don't put your saliva, a drink. Don't throw nothing in my
Yeah,
direction. If you jump up, walk the other direction. I'm gonna think you coming toward me.
yeah.
The minute we stand up, I'm thinking we gladiate. What is we talking about? But there's a stigma about people. Oh, you don't know how to use your words. You're not using your words when you're walking towards me, cussing me out. Not from where I come from. And I think a lot of time, like we look at other people who come from different background, and we think it's colorism. We think people are being racist when really they're either being ghetto or they're being classist. I mean, being
They're
uppity.
showing their class.
Yeah, they're being uppity, or they're being ghetto, or they're being bougie, or they're being hood, whatever layer. They're being urban, they're being suburban, whatever word you want to use. It's a classism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And I think maybe for this particular but maybe for this particular show, I remember them. This was, of course, they bring up old stuff, but they showed from season 1 where Giselle specifically was just like, we're both light skinned, we have green eyes or whatever. Like she specifically said all of this, and so I think that clicked initially in people's heads. So they've been kind of like eyeing them for any little thing at that point, and I think everybody agreed that it may not necessarily be active on the show, but everybody's reaction to people doing the same thing of various shades is different. And but yeah, they played all that out. But Yeah, it wasn't because Robin didn't say anything. Giselle asked the question like she had no clue about what was going on, and it was kind of weak. I think they probably should. They didn't want a moderator because nobody wanted to be held accountable. I don't think, or answer to certain questions. So they talked amongst themselves, which I don't think was the best thing. But I do think that Andy shouldn't have been. That was great that he didn't play a part in it because he didn't need to. But yeah,
No, he
I
it
will
was
say
didn't.
this.
interesting.
I will say this, and I love Giselle. It was very clear to me that Giselle just didn't get it. I
No.
think the
Yeah,
only thing that
yeah,
she got was, you know what? I do have dark skinned girls, and I think she's lived a life where her color in her eyes didn't matter. Her skin color, the pigment of her skin didn't matter. I'm
He
just
didn't acknowledge it.
I'm thinking she never even thought about it. You know what I'm saying? And so
yeah,
she's sitting and she's just like, "What are we talking about?" But she never had to. She never had to live it, and so she
yeah.
never saw it. Now I will say this for my part, I clearly saw it. I had a light skinned mother. I had my light skinned mother who all of her friends were dark skinned. Every last one of her friends were dark skinned. They were to me they were all beautiful, but my mother was the one that got the attention. I saw that and I recognized it for what it was. They just like light skinned people or whatever.
And you from the South, so you know. And I'm not gonna lie, it's more prevalent in the South than it is anywhere else. Because before I moved to the South, I really didn't know about it. And the moment I put 10 toes down here in Louisiana, I instantly heard about colorism. I was very thoroughly educated.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. What
So
what
yeah,
else happened?
I don't know. I think we just
no,
because like
we
I think
go ahead.
I think some of it was colorism in an aspect, or at least the viewers can see it that way. But I do think that Giselle, because she liked chocolate man, my mother is also light skinned, and she's always liked the chocolate man. And like
Mhm.
I didn't think about colorism until I moved to the South, and then I learned a lot about it. And then but my uncles, some of them are light skinned, but every last one of them was chocolate women, and like so all of us came out brown skin, and then you move to the South and you hear about how much it is, but some of it I think is the Southern mentality toward classism towards the lighter skinned people. I think a lot of more opportunities have been given to light skinned people in the South. So automatically when you're down here, the only thing, and it's obviously when you see it on television, it resonates in a lot of people's mind that it's still there. But a lot of times we can't even identify the classism. There's a sense of classism in
It it definitely is. You want to know? So when I was at Southern, I remember. Do y'all remember Rose Roche?
I
Rose
don't.
Roche. She was a Delta, but she was over student activities. She was over the dancing dolls.
okay, but I don't know.
So anyway, she looked at me like they were going around the room, and they were like, "Yeah." She looked at me. She was like, "You might be on the darker side of the brown paper bag or whatever." She's like, "You never would make alpha."
You know what I'm saying?
What?
Like
And
I
and
think
later when I became an alpha, I was talking to Dr. Ewell Perkins. He's an alpha big time. All the other good stuff in alpha. He looked over me. He used to call me Jermaine. Jermaine, once upon a you're a good brother. You're a good brother. Once upon a time, you never would have made it into alpha. You're just too dark. Blew my mind.
What?
It blew my mind.
see what I'm saying?
And
In the
and
90s? Well, I mean, that even.
this was 2000. This was
Oh my
2000.
god.
It's
Wow.
ridiculous.
I'm just saying that there's a holdover, there's a carryover, and it's real for a lot of people.
Hmm.
Especially down south, because it's still going on in a lot of
Yeah.
people's families. honestly, I'm watching the show, but I do think this one thing though. I think Giselle thinks she's obsolete to it because she had brown skin kids. That don't mean your mind changed.
True.
It don't
And
mean your mind.
also, she feels because her dad was with the civil rights, she feels like I don't know, like she got it generationally. Like she can't be, you know, have any kind of colorism issues because of her dad and her kids. But that's not true either.
I'm raising three brown skinned young ladies. I could never. Yes, the fuck you could.
Yes,
You
you
could
can.
probably say some about some type of, under booty cheek thing. You could have, when it get dark under the booty cheek, you could have said something too much. You could have made a cocoa butter comment that went a little too hard to your liking. It's all kind of stuff you could have said if you ain't know your
No, no,
shit.
no. Those comments. Ooh, you getting a little dark. You need get out that sun. Get out that
Yeah,
sun. You
yeah.
getting too dark.
Yeah.
I'm never
Yep.
gonna get
Or
to you. That's not just a saying. You browning. I'm gonna do that anyway. What are we
or
talking
it
about?
could be, you know how like white people have the one black friend that's good. Her kids could be the good darkies, and then everybody else. You know, you just never know.
All I'm gonna
But
say
yeah,
is I can't say it's obsolete because they know their friend group better than anybody else. When the cameras are rolling and when it's not. But maybe I think like the way they all agreed to approach the situation to the world, I feel like they felt like, okay, we're not going to point any fingers to anybody, but we're definitely going to let everybody know that the world sees it a certain way, and maybe you should choose your words wiser.
Mm-hmm.
hmm,
And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, that's cool, but I don't. I felt like it felt like it landed on deaf ears because both Robin and Giselle kind of were like,
yeah,
"That ain't me." It is you, bitch. Everybody pointing at you.
yeah.
But I do think
And
it's
also, I think they kept showing clips of this is on Twitter of season one where Giselle and Robin kept getting on what's her name? Not Karen, but she was actually biracial, but she was darker than them. What was her name?
I know what you're talking about. I
You
can't
know,
think of the name right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't think of her name, but they kept showing those clips on Twitter, of course, with the whole colorism thing, because it was even kind of reversed. Like, how can you be? Are you sure both of your parents? You know, I don't know. It was just interesting that whole dynamic too. But anyway, you can talk all day about colorism because it's such a
yeah.
huge issue with various things. Yeah, yeah,
I just feel like people now that we're in the spotlight as Black people and our popular culture is in the spotlight, we need to start being more conscious of what's going on and don't think you're obsolete to it. Like if I ever got caught saying some crazy stuff, the only thing I can do is say, yeah, I apologize for my ignorance. Like I didn't know at the
yeah,
time. Cool, it is what it is. I'm a different person today, moving forward. But the fact that they wouldn't even acknowledge it was like, and I have
yeah.
had lighter skinned people in my life acknowledge their privilege and say,
Hmm,
"Oh, I know, like I know what I
hmm,
know." You know what I'm saying? Like I know what it is, and to like have people act like it's not there. It's like, or it doesn't exist because they're Black and around other people who are like diverse shades. One thing you could do is that's why I respected Ashley in that situation more because she just was like, yeah, I don't, but at least she said, I just really don't understand where it applies. And then they could explain it to her.
hmm,
But
yeah.
denying it, you just can't deny it there.
Right, right. And I listened to this late Loree Favors on Sirius XM, and she mentioned that because of slavery, you know, because just all the trauma that Black people have been through, she said we're all white supremacists, but we got to fight it every day. You know, it's almost like you have to really
Yeah.
think or grow in it. Like you have to really say, because like even people that be feeling like some schools are better than others, or it's just like little things that you have to, or I want to live in this particular neighborhood, just different things that you have to like kind of think about, like, wait a minute, that's a white supremacist idea, or what's beautiful, what's not, things like that, that, and
Did you
it
take
takes
Dr.
growth.
Ackley's class? It sounded like you took Dr. Ackley's class. At Southern.
Oh, I did, but yeah, is that what he talking about?
You have to train your mind to reject white supremacist ideology.
Oh,
Dr. Westley psychology class. Shout out to Dr.
oh,
Westley University.
I wish I had his. The one I had was a mess.
University ways. It was great. Like that's I feel like personally it helped me a lot. Like to go through that
Yeah,
class. It was amazing because it made me understand like understanding and digesting white supremacy as an African American, because people really think that they don't, and it's like yes, you do every day.
yeah, yeah,
You don't know you're doing it though. You think you're standing up for us, but sometimes you're practicing what the colonizers taught you for, and you don't even know it.
yeah. True
Something
that.
as simple as deciding, okay, I've made it. I'm making a certain amount of money. I'm going to move out of this neighborhood and move into this better neighborhood. All you're really doing is making the neighborhood that you grew up in, lived in all your life, you're making it worse.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
taking that talent that you could give to your next door neighbor. You know what I'm saying? It could be multiplied there versus where you're going and you're not even talking to your neighbors.
yeah. It's yeah, it's definitely true. And like when she said that, I didn't take the class, but I was just like, that is so true. So I really do like whenever I catch myself in like a moment or something, like even with supporting black owned businesses or whatever, I give them chance after chance after chance because I do the same thing for white ones. So it's just like I'm not gonna give them one shot and be like, that she had an attitude, so I ain't coming back. It was like, well, no, I didn't do that at Target, so I'm going to come on back. So,
Can I be honest?
yes.
Is there shades of colorism coming through?
I was laughing before I say behind business, I become a black ass Karen for my $90. God damn it, you better give me the service I was entitled to. I don't have to go. I work too damn hard. I don't cut up on them and I don't leave bad like reviews, but god damn it, I ain't going back. You can treat me bad one time, but I also do the same to the people of the Caucasian persuasion. So I don't feel no kind of way. You mess me over one time, I'm out that thing. You know what? I ain't got to deal with this. I'm going home. The fact that you give them multiple chances, you are a saint among women, and you are a Christian. God loves and shines on your household.
But besides colorism, how did the episode close, Michelle? I don't know if Michelle can hear us.
Sorry, my earbuds. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't hear y'all. My earbuds. When I think I'm going through the actual phone now. But in any case, I think I know where she was going. I wish I heard. I'm about to go back and listen because I'm sure it was a mess.
You didn't hear me? Oh, I gave you a compliment.
Oh, I gotta see what my
So what happened next in the episode, Michelle? The reunion episode.
I'm gonna just reconnect.
Uh-oh. So what happened next in the reunion episode?
After the colorism thing, didn't they were getting ready for Jacqueline?
Oh yeah, she did come.
But they ain't put her on yet.
No.
I'm wondering how that shit's gonna go. Like,
it's gonna be a mess.
Mia's so ready that it's weak to me. She's so ready that it's weak.
Well, she knew her friend was coming on, and she knew her friend would have receipts. Her friend has been there the entire time, and it's kind of like the president doesn't hit back to the people below, but the people below, they're always hitting the president. And so in this particular situation, Mia would be the president, right? Because she's on the show. Her friend though can hit and can hit hard. right? And so it's not gonna be well received from Mia. I mean, by Mia. Whatever it is that she says is not gonna be well received.
It's what she deserves, though. She's such a down bad person. She's just not exhibited herself in a good way. Like at all.
Mhm. So until Michelle comes back, what do we think there's gonna be like a shakeup in the cast members for next year?
Why you say that? You said who
It's
come
just my
on?
question. It's because of everything that's happening with Robin. I'm questioning whether or not Robin is gonna if they're gonna allow Robin to come back.
She
Um,
better with her hiding shit ass. She need to put her fucking cheating ass, hiding shit ass husband on display.
well, if she comes back, they're gonna be all up in it. They're gonna be asking all kinds of questions.
I don't believe she gonna stop her money because I don't believe she making that money off her business.
I don't know what the deal is there.
I don't believe she making that much money.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't. I think she inflates it, and I would too. Shit, I ain't gonna make it like I don't.
I
But
mean, she built that house. That I know.
and
Which,
it's
by the way, like we really, and I think we talked about it last episode. Like she could have shown her building the house. She could have shown furnishing the house. All of that, like all of that, could have been shown. Oh, y'all both, y'all both.
no. I agree with you. I think that would have been way more interesting.
Mhm. Well, I think we're at the end of the episode. Thank you all so very much for joining us. I enjoyed the conversation on
Am I
colorism.
blanking out?
Yeah, you were on mute for a second.
No, I put it on mute for a second, but okay, never mind.
Thank you all so very much for joining us, Michelle. Anything else that we need to talk about?
I'm sorry. I don't know why I cannot hear y'all. It's like very low, and I don't know. I took my earbuds out, but anyway, continue.
We were wrapping up. I don't know if she can hear that. No, she can't. But thank you all for joining us. Have a good one. Oh, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and see you all next week.